Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. I know it's been a while since I've been downstairs, but my husband's still asleep upstairs, so that's why we're down here. This month of May, I think I told you guys that the book club that I'm in, we got started again, and so this month, our book was These Precious Days by Patchett. She's a pretty well-known author, and I've heard of her, but I don't think I've ever read any of her other things. And so we read her book this month. This book is a collection of essays that she's written, just kind of reflecting on life and death and marriage, and she also has one about children. And it was just a really timely read for this month. I just really, I was already in the state of reflecting on some things and some adjustments that I need to make in my own life, and just reading through the book, even though she's, quite a bit older than I am, it was just nice to have an outside person's opinion on, like, if I change this, here's what has happened. So that was really nice. One of the essays that she wrote, she talks about not shopping for a year, and I was like, ooh, that's a lot. Just not buying anything for a year. And when she says not shopping, or not buying anything, she means anything that's like frivolous, just like the thing of, you have a speaking engagement, so you buy a whole new outfit for the speaking engagement. Like, you don't really need to do that because you probably have something in your closet that would be perfectly suitable. And so that is something that just kind of really hit home for me. Not that I buy clothes unnecessarily, at least not recently. But like, I have definitely done that in the past, and I've really kind of been debating how to continue to redo my wardrobe. I'm in the process of really trying to get my wardrobe to what I want it to be, and not just like, ooh, this is pretty. Like, I really want to have a specific style and specific time period, and things that I follow specific aesthetic, and so just I've been in the process of working on that, and so that means some things I've gotten rid of and given away, but like, then I replace them, right? And it's more about like, do I really need to replace everything, right? Do I really need to constantly be buying things, especially because I don't have a ton of money, and I don't want to be spending money unnecessarily, because I would like to save for the different things that that we need to fix around our house, or that I need to actually purchase. So that was like a really interesting article. And then the other article that really stuck out to me was about children. So Patchett has like made the decision that she's not going to have children. She doesn't want to have children. It's just not something that really speaks to her. And she talks a lot about how, one, the women's role is perceived in society, especially in current society, of just like, you have to be a mother, or when you go to the doctor, if you are a woman and you're like, hey, I don't want to have kids, I want to get my tubes tied, or whatever it is, and doctors a lot of times don't listen. Like, they'll be like, oh, you'll change your mind, you'll make that decision later, you'll be so upset if you do it, so I'm just not going to perform this operation for you. And it's so draining. I personally have not had that experience, where doctors are like, oh, you'll change your mind, oh, this, that, or the other. But I know people that have. I know people that have a lot of different medical conditions and things like that, where the danger of them having children is high, or they have miscarried so many times, and so they've asked for, like, can I get my tubes tied? Can I, whatever it is, I just really think that that would be healthier and safer for me, and doctors are like, no, we can't do that. Like, you'll change your mind. You'll make a decision. There will be a miracle. There will be all these things. And I just don't agree with treating women that way. And then also in that article, she talks about Mother's Day. And this year, Mother's Day was very hard for me because I understand that I have a mother role, especially as a teacher. I mother a lot of people. And I enjoy my job of being a teacher. I enjoy the relationships that I build with kids. I enjoy the relationships that linger for years. They reach out when they need help. They ask me questions that, a lot of times kids do ask their biological parents or whomever is their guardian. And so I have those relationships, but that doesn't make me a mother. And I'm not a mother. Is that something that I hope for and I wish for in my future? Yes. But to constantly, especially on Mother's Day, to constantly be like, Happy Mother's Day. And I'm like, I'm not a mom. And then people will be like, oh yeah, but you are, because, you do this or you do that. And like, I'm an aunt, as well. I have, my like actual niece. And then I have, a lot of my friends, who, me and Andrew are very, very close to, call us aunt and uncle, like we have those, but we're not actually parents. And so this year on Mother's Day, it was very rough to constantly have somebody be like, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. And I'm like, it's not for me. And then on the flip side, to also be reminded that I am not a mother, and that I'm kind of, ostracized, unintentionally, I think, but ostracized for not being a mother yet. The idea of like, hey, we're doing this celebration and we want you there, but it's about Mother's Day and it's really just about you and your daughter. Why am I there to speculate, or not speculate, but spectate at this event? It was a very hard Mother's Day for me this year, and even after Mother's Day to have this kind of thrust at me, making me feel that I was a failure for not having a child yet, for not being a mom yet. And so there was that side of it, but in her essay, she talks about that it's okay, but also like people need to chill. She has a whole section. Her that particular essay was like written in chapters. It was kind of interesting. And in one of the chapters, she said, just because I have stepchildren does not make me a mother. Because like I'm not their mother. Their mother is their mother, and I am not. Like, yes, I've supported them. I'm happy to answer questions for them. I'm happy to be that person that they need me to be, but I am not their mother. So stop trying to make me their mother. And like I so agreed with that. I was like, yes, thank you. She had a bunch of other statements where like, just because I am this does not make me a mother. Just because I am this does not make me a mother. And so like I just really appreciated her insight on that. And then like overall, I give the book a 5 out of 5. It was a book that I was not excited to read when they first said, hey, this is what we're reading. I was like, this is dumb. I don't typically like reading authors' essays about different things, especially when they are fiction writers, because I'm just like, it gets tiring, and I feel like sometimes these authors are just spewing nonsense, but in this case it was really just a reflection on her life, and it was just so, I just got so much out of it, and so like I really, really appreciated being able to read it. So like I said, the book is called These Precious Days. by Ann Patchett. Really great book, love it. I plan to add some other books by her to my reading list, so that I can get to know her from the other side of things. But yeah, it was a good book. It was a really good book, and just very timely for like what I needed to hear at this point in my life. So there you have it. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you've just popped over from my husband's channel, welcome. Like, super happy to have you on this journey of reading books. And as always, I will see you in the next book review. Bye.